So I wake up this morning, man. Went to the Ring of Honor show last night. Very, very good time at the Manhattan Center. Really had a good time. My first Ring of Honor show. It was very nice to see, Matt and Nick of the Young Bucks in action, doing their thing. Marty Scurll, Cody Rhodes was there. Hangman Page with a fucking death-defying jump off the balcony of the Hammerstein Ballroom right onto the concrete, literally 30 feet from me. I got it all on video. If you guys want to go check that out, I put it on my Twitter. Very, very good time, man. Dalton Castle was there. Jay Lethal. I seen the Beer City Bruisers. Who else was there? It was Cody versus Flip Gordon. It was a good time, man. It was a very, very good time. Punishment Martinez. Chance of Baron Corbin rang out because he does kind of have a similar look to Baron Corbin. There was even a Rusev Day chant. Just a massive Rusev Day chant at a Ring of Honor show. Shows you how over fucking Rusev is, man. If that doesn't tell you how over he is, it's a shame why they're not pushing him on WWE television, man. But the Ring of Honor crowd, man, I love those snarky, smart wrestling crowds. They just bring the show to life. Everybody has a good time. It was very good. It was a very, very good time last night, man. It's not going to be my last Ring of Honor show for sure. I know they're coming back in June. I will definitely be there. Shout out to everybody that came to the show and said what's up to me, notice me. I'm terrible with names, but you know who you are if you guys watch on a regular basis. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, I'll be back in June, man, but I had a good time. And if you guys want to see any of the video that I took from the show, it is live on my Twitter page right now at JDFROMNY206. It was also nice seeing Emma. Emma was there as well in a tag team match with Sumi Sakai. So that was very good, man. Deonna Purrazzo was there. Good show. Very, very good show. Manhattan Mayhem. But I woke up this morning, and I was on the train coming home last night, and I had a few inside sources, a few of my fans in Chicago who either knew somebody that attended the WWE house show or that were physically there at the WWE house show. The one that seen Brock Lesnar beat Kane in 35 seconds, and then the match between Roman Reigns and John Cena. I don't know why they would put that on in Chicago. You knew WWE fans in Chicago were going to shit all over that match, and that's exactly what they did. They pretty much hijacked the fucking match. But I heard from people there that the fans were, really angry. They were enticing riots. They were so pissed off that Brock Lesnar was advertised, and they paid money to see Brock Lesnar. He comes in, 35 seconds later, he beats Kane, and then he walks away. So I see this, and I hear this, and I'm like, well, the first thing that I thought of is, well, they're really pushing their Roman Reigns, kayfabe storyline here on the WWE house show circuit. Because there's no better way to get people to fucking hate Brock Lesnar in one of their biggest markets than having him come out in 35 seconds and then just leave. What type of shit is that? God knows how much money those people paid to see Brock Lesnar knowing that he was billed for the show. So I'm like, WWE pushing their Roman initiative at the house shows, having Lesnar beat Kane in 35 seconds, just to get Lesnar even more hated for this storyline, and again make Roman the conquering hero. Pathetic, right? So I said that last night, came home, and I fell asleep. I wake up to this guy, Alan Proctor, from Ringside News. I don't know who the fuck reads Ringside News, but apparently he's a blog writer or a news editor, a quote-unquote journalist. Alan Proctor, he blocked me because I let him have it because he's a fucking Roman cocksucker, just like they all are. But look at this guy. Look at this clown. Alan Proctor there with Rey Mysterio. Yeah, great job, bro. You look like a grade A goon. Alan Proctor blocked me because he replied to my tweet about WWE, pushing the Roman initiative at the house show circuit. And then he replied with, "Stop being childish." So I replied back, "Why don't you do your job better instead of pussyfooting around and dancing around the issues at hand?" Not everything with Roman is sunshines and rainbows. Everybody's reporting about positivity when it comes to Roman Reigns. You like seeing Roman in 4 fucking main events in a row? You're okay with that? Right? So I told him, why don't you do your job better and give us the real fucking news instead of pretending everything is okay? So in typical Roman fashion, in typical fucking let me get on my hands and knees and suck this guy's dick fashion, He gives me the reason of, well, Roman gets a reaction everywhere he goes. Yeah, so does Donald Trump. Does the reaction Donald Trump gets, is it a positive one? No. He's hated. That's the reaction Roman Reigns gets. Roman is the Donald Trump of the WWE. He gets a reaction, but it's a reaction of disgust. It's a reaction of, go away, I don't want to see you. So you can't use that reaction card and put that card on the table and play that for your fucking hand, bro. I'm telling you right now. These people, these writers, these fucking hack journalists, right? They can't do their job correctly, and they try and spin everything off in this positive light. Meanwhile, there's nothing positive about the fucking product right now. Stop trying to find something positive when there's nothing but negativity. I want to see someone who has the fucking balls to call it like it is. I'm not saying that you can't find positivity in anything, but the one thing that's a blaring fucking negative, you're trying to find positive in it? Where is there positive in it? How is this good for WWE? How is this good for WrestleMania? If Roman wasn't there, the WWE would operate the same way it would if he was. He does nothing for the product. Roman. Fuck out of here, man. Dancing around the fucking issues at hand. Nobody covers the fucking news like I do. Nobody gives you the fucking opinion like I do. Everybody's dancing around the fucking issues. Tired of this shit. Roman fans are all the goddamn same. Alan Proctor, all the goddamn same. You tweet anything to these guys that is hindering on truth, and they block you because they want to live in their own little fucking protective bubble where nothing goes wrong. Oh, the world of professional wrestling is so perfect. It'll get better. Stop being so negative. Fuck out of here, dude. I hate that mentality. You call it like you see it. You fucking explain to your fans and the readers of your shit website what really's going on. You're doing your job the wrong way. You ain't doing a good job. You're blatantly lying to your readers. Or whoever supports the bullshit that you're fucking spewing over there. Oh, JD, you're nothing but a fucking smart mark who works out of your mom's basement, man. You're damn right. You're damn right. Not saying that I live in my mom's basement, but I'm here doing this shit from the comfort of my own home, and I do it better than anybody. Even these fucking hack dirt sheet writers. They aren't even a fucking a blip on my radar, these fucking clowns. I'm doing their job better than they could ever do their job. I got more of an audience. I got more of a following. I got more, in my opinion, that people want to hear than they could ever muster up in some fucking lame blog about Roman Reigns. Bullshit. All Roman Reigns fucking cocksuckers, the fans, the writers, these fucking idiots in the industry. Roman Reigns. You ain't fucking giving me the news I want to hear, bro. You ain't giving me the news I want to hear. Oh, this is good for WWE. The title's going to be back on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, fine. Fine. We all know Brock Lesnar's a shitty fucking champion. But why don't you stop dancing around the issues, right? Stop dancing around the fucking promo. It was a good promo. What was underneath that promo? What did that promo really offer you? Why should I care about Roman Reigns? What has Roman Reigns done for me that I have to sit at home and watch him every Monday night and say, I'm going to put my money on Roman. I'm going to vote for Roman. No, there's nothing that this guy has done in 4 years to entice a reaction out of me like that. Nothing. Meanwhile, these people continuously sit behind their keyboards and pretend like this guy is the fucking savior of wrestling. He's trash. Roman's character is garbage. Roman is an experimental failure over the last 4 years. Enough of this shit of Roman Reigns being the next John Cena. There is no next John Cena in the WWE. The next John Cena was Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan is retired. Roman is not going to take that spot. The people will not give him that spot. Vince wants to, but the people will not have it. The people have voted. They don't want Roman. The next John Cena is not in the WWE right now. Whomever that may be. Whomever that may be. He's not in the WWE right now. And it certainly is not Roman Reigns. I'm tired of talking about this. Fucking week after week after week after week. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. Lesnar coming out and beating Kane in 35 seconds, being booed by the fucking best fans in the fucking United States when it comes to professional wrestling. The fans in Chicago. That's what you're doing. You're using Brock Lesnar now with his appearance to cheat the fans out of a fucking Lesnar appearance just to push your Roman initiative even further. You know? Either that or Lesnar's getting ready for a UFC fight. You know? If that is the case, which is the other thing I thought of. If Lesnar is at the tail end of this run now, right? If he's going to be gone from WWE and he wanted to go out there on a house show and work 30 seconds with Kane to protect his body and preserve his body for a potential UFC training and a UFC return. What is the point? What is the point? If that match is 30 seconds, God only knows what Brock Lesnar's going to do at WrestleMania. If he's preserving his body now, how is he going to preserve his body at WrestleMania? So what are we going to get? 5 minutes of Roman and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? Are we really going to get a Goldberg-esque 4-minute match at WrestleMania 34? We may be in for the most pathetic main event in WrestleMania history. Can you imagine all it takes is one spear to put down Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34? Because he wants to preserve his body for the UFC? It's coming. It's coming. Guarantee it. If Lesnar is preserving his body that much that he's got to go out there and only do 30 seconds with Kane, you can imagine what he's going to do on the last day of his contract. You think he's going to go all out and give us a fucking 5-star classic with Roman Reigns? Give me a fucking break, dude. This will be the worst WrestleMania main event in the history of WrestleMania main events. Watch. I'm predicting that right now. I'm tired of talking about this shit. Tired of talking about Roman Reigns. I'm tired of talking about all the fucking cocksuckers that think that there's a pot of gold at the end of the fucking rainbow, that it's all peaches and cream. You know, do your fucking jobs. Seriously, do your fucking jobs, dude. Why do you even have a fucking blog if you're gonna spew bullshit? When I read something, I want to read something that's gonna make me say, you know what? This guy's got some fucking intelligence to him. Instead of fucking these mindless sheep. Jonathan Coachman talks about sheep, right? Enough of this Roman Reigns hatred. Stop boarding the Roman Reigns hate train. The Roman Reigns hate train has more than enough fuel to get you through wherever it's going. Believe me, those people aren't sheep. Those people present facts to the ignorant fucking fools who don't want to listen. The sheep that Jonathan Coachman is talking about goes both ways. These people who write nothing but positivity about Roman Reigns and continue to suck this guy's balls, those are the sheep. Meanwhile, people like me are looked down upon by these fucking sheep because they're afraid of hearing anything that's fucking out there and edgy and, oh my God, you can't say that. Fuck out of here, dude. I'm not about that fucking life. There's a reason why my audience is fucking probably 20 times the size of yours. Because you aren't clear with your audience. You're giving them the same bullshit that everybody else is giving them. Offer them a different fucking take on it. That's why Off the Script is the best fucking thing on your sub boxes, man. Right here on YouTube. There's no podcast doing what I'm doing. Fuck out of here. Bullshit ass fucking Roman Reigns fans, man. Sick and tired of all of them. Be perfectly honest with you. You know who else I'm sick and tired of, man? This guy. Met with the tax man today. He fucked me royally. That's why Off the Script is late this afternoon. But I walked out heartbroken, depressed, but I walked out alive. Barely. But I'm here. If you guys want to know why Off the Script was late today, there you go. Mr. Erwin R. Shyster. You know, I wish I had the money that Ted DiBiase had. I wouldn't be in the fucking situation I'm in today with this fucking clown. Anyway, had to do that today. Jam with the guys for a little bit. Now I'm recording. So, I'm going to have, well, being that the tax guy is fucking raping me this year, I'm going to have to get a few more extra videos out for you guys. So, it may end up being a good thing for you guys. Anyway. I'm here. We're going to do part 3. I got a lot of news to go over today. Actually, not a lot of news. I got some things to go over today. But we'll get through it. I got news on Rey Mysterio. Apparently, he's hurt, and he's not coming to the WWE anytime soon. What a terrible break for Rey Mysterio. I got news on the hijacking of the John Cena-Roman Reigns match. What happened last night in Chicago. Apparently, I don't watch Impact Wrestling, but I've seen this all over social media, and my God, it was the most brutal thing I think I've ever seen in a professional wrestling ring, man. Sami Callihan is unfucking believable, man. Unfucking believable what he did to Eddie Edwards. We're going to talk about that because Jim Cornette is fucking furious over it. Cassius Ohno even threw his fucking 2 cents in on it. Sami Callihan seems to have no fucking regrets about what he did to Eddie Edwards, man. I don't watch Impact, but what I seen in the 30 seconds of this clip that involved a steel chair and a baseball bat, my fucking goodness, man. One of the most brutal things I've ever seen in a professional wrestling ring. We're going to talk about it. I'll give you my opinion on that. I got major, as you guys can see from the title, WWE Draft News. We have possible spoilers for several superstars switching brands, so you're not going to want to miss that. WWE interested in several big indie talents. Again, another purge coming from the independent wrestling scene. And rumors of a WrestleMania 35 main event already. Have you guys seen my little interaction with Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter the other day? He mentioned something about WrestleMania 35, and I gave him my opinion on that. We'll go over that today as well, right here on Off the Script. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. You guys know the deal with the sponsors, man. We have Harry's, harrys.com/script. Make sure you guys get your free trial shave set. All you guys have to do is pay the shipping and handling, $2 or $3, and you get your free trial shave set. Best shave of your life. I shaved yesterday. I look pretty damn good, man. Audible, also, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys do that. If you already signed up, please turn it over to a friend or a family member, work colleague, a school classmate, whoever, man. audibletrial.com/offthescript. 30 days free. That's 1 month free of their service, plus a free audio book of your choice just for signing up. If you guys want your t-shirts, barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. And if you guys want to support the Patreon page, man, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Let's get into the news, man. I'm going to start off with this Sami Callihan situation. Jim Cornette, you guys know, is never afraid to hold anything back. If he sees something that he doesn't like, he's going to blast it on his podcast, man. And he did that exact thing about a recent event that took place on Impact Wrestling. Now, Eddie Edwards, if you guys seen this, I'm sure you can find it on social media. You can find it on YouTube. Eddie Edwards took a baseball bat to the face, courtesy of Sami Callihan, at the latest set of Impact TV tapings. The episode featured the ordeal that aired this week, and Impact Wrestling showed pretty much the whole thing through. And although they did cut out all of the blood afterwards, you can see the clip online. Jim Cornette recently had a cup of coffee in Impact Wrestling, and Eddie Edwards was one of those guys who left a very good impression on Jim Cornette. I had the pleasure of calling an Eddie Edwards match in House of Glory when he went against Anthony Gangone, who was at that time the House of Glory champion. So when Cornette saw the clip of Eddie taking a baseball bat to the face, he was absolutely livid about the situation. There will likely be more to come from Cornette because he could very well fill up some time on one of his podcasts next week talking about this spot more in depth. Jim Cornette was not very happy with Sami Callihan at all. This is what he stated on Twitter, and I quote, "Okay, I just saw for the first time, Eddie Edwards should have beat the shit out of this stupid fuck. He set it up shoddy. He was careless with his shitty swing, and they shouldn't have been doing it to begin with. Who the fuck trained Sami Callihan? I'm fucking hot." End quote from Jim Cornette. Sami Callihan, I don't know if he... Actually, I don't even give a shit if he's playing up his character or not. It was a real-life instance. It was a real-life situation. It was something that went wrong in the ring. So you should be apologetic of it, and you should own up to your mistake because it was all on Sami Callihan. So Sami Callihan, after he sees Cornette's tweet, he goes on to say that it hurts, Jimmy. I'll just keep watching my bank account go up. The fuck does that have to do with anything about what happened to Eddie Edwards? How does a baseball bat to this guy's face inadvertently have anything to do with watching your bank account go up? Is he a stupid idiot? So then NXT superstar Cassius Ohno saw Sami Callihan's response to Jim Cornette's tweet concerning the incident where Sami smashed Eddie Edwards' face with a baseball bat on Impact and the former Chris Hero couldn't hold his opinion back. Although Callihan's point seemed to be that he's not worrying about Cornette because he has a rising bank account to watch, but that really wasn't the matter at all. What does that have to do with anything about what happened to Eddie Edwards? So, Sami put Eddie Edwards' life on the line and his career. You know, could have fucking killed the guy. It's not really cool to take that kind of risk if safety isn't going to be your primary concern. Of course, in reality, Callihan certainly didn't mean to whack Eddie in the face with a metal baseball bat, even if the scathing promo he cut with TMZ seemed to indicate otherwise. This guy went on TMZ and cut a promo with them, TMZ Sports. But it happened because Sami didn't measure the shot properly, and since there's no going back now, they might as well ride the wave of attention that it's getting in its wake. This messy situation all around is making waves in the wrestling industry, and certainly isn't doing a world of good for Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan right now, especially Eddie Edwards. I don't know what happened to him. But actually, at the same time, it is doing good for TNA, or Impact Wrestling, whatever the fuck their name is now, Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan, because it's making the rounds and actually made TMZ. So, Cassius Ohno said, really, this is zero correlation between how much money you make and what happened in that ring. You should be embarrassed, ashamed, said Cassius Ohno. It was a terrible spot. It was very, very sloppy. I don't know what the fuck Sami Callihan was doing. I don't even know why the baseball bat shot was intended to fucking look that way. You know? I don't know what he was swinging for. He put the steel chair across, like he set up the steel chair, he unfolded it, and he placed it on top of Eddie Edwards' chest. Takes the metal baseball bat, and he doesn't even fucking time his swing. He just randomly swings wildly, and he hits the steel chair, and then the baseball bat ricochets off the steel chair and just fucking goes right into Eddie Edwards' face. Could have fucking killed the guy with the momentum that this guy swung the baseball bat. Why this spot was even okayed, I don't know. I really don't understand why this spot was even made. That is a very, very dangerous spot. You could have did anything else. You could have had the sound of the baseball bat hit the steel chair, and you could have put Eddie Edwards in a different position where he wasn't laying on his fucking back looking at this guy take a baseball bat and swing wildly as if he's missing a Randy Johnson 100-mile-an-hour fastball. That's ridiculous, dude. Absolutely insane. I looked at that, and I don't really cringe all that often when I watch professional wrestling, but I absolutely fucking cringe, especially when they slowed it in slow motion. Ridiculous. I know, I agree. You don't like Sami Callihan either for this spot? Okay. Just jump on the fucking desk while I'm recording. What are you doing? Get off the desk. Are you kidding me? Are you... What the fuck's going on over here? Oh my goodness. Anyway. She's not trained, by the way, people. I didn't plan for that. Unpredictability of off the script. Listen. Sami Callihan was one of my favorites in Lucha Underground. I think he's an excellent talent. This was completely unnecessary. I feel bad for Eddie Edwards, man. Sami Callihan should just own up to the fact that, listen, I fucked up. You know, don't go around saying, oh, you know, fuck you, Cornette. I'm just going to watch my bank account rise. No, man. You gotta protect those who you are in the ring with. You know, that is your brother in there. He is trusting you with his life and you the same with him. You know, the fact that you've come out and you've just felt unapologetic to the entire thing. I don't know if he's playing up his character or not, but even if he is, there's got to be a line drawn that, listen, this is a serious fucking situation. You could have absolutely fucking killed this guy with the momentum of that baseball bat right to the face. Absolutely ridiculous, sickening fucking spot, sickening display, even if he is playing up his character. Throw that shit out the window, man. This is real life now. You know, own up to the mistake and just be apologetic for the entire situation. And don't do stupid shit like that ever again. So that is what's going on with that. I'm not sure if you guys watch Impact Wrestling, but this was all over the place. It's tough not to talk about. But hopefully Eddie Edwards is okay going forward, because that was one of the most brutal things I think I've ever seen watching 30 years of professional wrestling. The sound of the metal baseball bat, man, jeez. You know, absolutely sickening. WWE draft news, man. I want you guys to look at this picture I have here. This was circulating online, and again, I state this, please take this with a grain of salt. This is not in any way confirmed, but according to these people, this might very well be some of the trades that we see going down and some of the superstars switching brands when the draft happens after WrestleMania. This is Tim Flaherty, 823 on Twitter. I don't know who he is, but he tweeted all these people. I don't know if they're WWE insiders or not. I have no idea. So he says, these are the rumored trades in the upcoming draft shakeup. I'm actually fine with every single one. And he tagged all of these different Twitter profiles. So we got AJ Styles, looking like AJ Styles might be switching roles with Seth Rollins. Randy Orton might be switching roles with Samoa Joe. We got The Bar switching roles with the Usos. And then Becky switching roles with Sasha Banks. I'm okay with all these moves. These are some of the more common moves that I think were going to be made anyway. This is nothing out of the ordinary. We knew AJ Styles was moving to SmackDown Live anyway. Moving from SmackDown Live to Raw. We all know that Vince McMahon wants AJ on Raw. Seth Rollins is good enough right now. You know, I've stated that Seth Rollins is the best in-ring performer coming out of WrestleMania last year for the Raw brand. And I think Seth Rollins being the face of SmackDown Live is a fresh take on him. And also, it gives him a spotlight away from Roman Reigns. Because with Roman on the fucking brand, nobody's ever going to get the spotlight. That's why I fear for AJ going over there. Are they going to treat AJ the way he should be treated when he goes over to Monday Night Raw with Roman Reigns head and shoulders above everybody else? I don't know. The Usos could bring much needed seriousness to the Raw Tag Team division. Having the Bar move over to SmackDown Live, I'm kind of over the Bar, to be honest with you. But they definitely need new opponents. So a move certainly makes sense for both teams. Not only the Bar, but the Usos as well. Sasha Banks has been the best in-ring female performer coming out of last year's WrestleMania. Get her away from Alexa Bliss. Get Sasha in a feud with Asuka on SmackDown Live. Get her into a feud with anybody that's not named Alexa Bliss or Nia Jax. So I think Sasha moving over to SmackDown Live is an excellent move. She definitely needs to get away from Monday Night Raw. But I want to make something very well known here. You know, we're all talking about, oh, we want this guy on Raw and this guy on SmackDown, this female on SmackDown, this female on Raw. We got to have a shake-up here, right? Samoa Joe on SmackDown Live would be perfect. He's a quintessential, grade A, perfect opponent for Shinsuke Nakamura, right? I'd even put Finn Balor on SmackDown Live, to be perfectly honest with you. But the thing is, with the way SmackDown Live is, and the creative, do you trust any of these fucking people to go over to SmackDown Live and be booked any differently than they are on Monday Night Raw? In fact, they might actually end up being booked worse. Sasha might end up being booked worse on SmackDown Live. Because the women's division on SmackDown is a joke. It's absolutely pathetic. And then I gotta get benched by Kevin Owens, right? I gotta get blocked by Kevin Owens for whatever I said. I have no idea what I said. Maybe I was a little too harsh on the women. Maybe, I don't know. He says I didn't say anything to him directly, but he didn't agree with something that I said because I use the hashtags all over the place when I watch Raw and SmackDown, and he probably benched me because he didn't like what I said. If I don't tweet you directly, I don't see why you have to, I don't see why you have to bench me, but he unblocked me and then benched me again for whatever reason, I don't know. But I have no problem with the women. I love the women. Just watch me on Wednesday and how I praise the women in NXT. That's all I want. I want the women to be treated like they're treated in NXT. The storylines for the women on Raw and SmackDown, if you are on that roster, you have to know that the women's divisions are being booked poorly and SmackDown Live as a whole is terrible. Simple as that. I'm not saying anything that you're not thinking. Everything that you are thinking, more than likely, not all the time, but more than likely, is going to come out of my mouth. So I don't understand why there are differences of opinion here. Any of these members that move from Raw to SmackDown, do you trust SmackDown Live to do them any different than where they are on Monday Night Raw? Yeah, it's great in retrospect to see Samoa Joe move from Raw to SmackDown, gives them fresh opponents, gives them a new change of scenery. But do you trust them to do anything right by Samoa Joe? They couldn't get AJ Styles right. They couldn't get Shinsuke Nakamura right. They failed time and time again with Dolph Ziggler. These are the group of people that gave Jinder Mahal a title reign for 7 months. I don't expect anything out of these fucking people. So, that is the rumored WWE draft news. We don't know when it's happening, but Raw and SmackDown, we all know that the brand split is going to remain in effect, even though we're going to have dual-branded pay-per-views, but it needs to be freshened up. Now, that's not going to change anytime soon, and last year Vince McMahon announced that Monday Night Raw and that show after WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, they threw a stupid star shakeup. That's what it should have been called. I was going to say superstar shakeup. He threw that on everybody, and it made no sense. 1 week we seen guys on Raw, and then the following week they were just showing up on SmackDown with no intrigue or nothing built behind it, right? But we don't know what's going to happen this year, whether it's just going to be a shakeup like it was last year or if there's going to be a draft. Now this year, the rumors suggest that the Backlash pay-per-view is the first pay-per-view following WrestleMania that's going to be dual-branded. And they will be moving forward with some sort of shakeup. While plenty of fans will have their own ideas as to who should move on to which show, and I will do a video on what I think should happen with these rosters, just like I did last year, very in-depth, and I'll give you a reason why. It won't surprise you to learn that the WWE plan right now appears to be leaking. During the initial draft, the WWE went out of its way to split up the Shield, and John Cena made a rather shocking change to SmackDown Live after being the staple of Monday Night Raw for so long. So what can we expect from this year's shakeup? As you guys seen in the pictures, one Twitter user found this graphic of superstars that are rumored to be on the move, with some WWE insiders credited as the sources. WWE Champion AJ Styles is moving to Monday Night Raw, as is the Usos, Becky Lynch, and Randy Orton. And then on the opposite end, we got Samoa Joe, Sasha Banks, The Bar, and Seth Rollins. Those names obviously could improve Tuesday nights, but again, I pose the question, do you have faith in WWE? No. Do you have faith in SmackDown Live Creative? No. Both tag team divisions would feel rejuvenated with the swaps. Obviously, this does not include NXT call-ups. We could still see the Authors of Pain come up. We could see Sanity called up. We don't know yet, right? Charlotte and her losing the title to Asuka more than likely. I could see her back on Monday nights. So who knows what's going on there. That's another move potentially that could happen. However, one major problem here is Rollins. His whole moniker right now is Monday Night Rollins. And it's been well documented just how well that shirt right now has been selling. I think it's one of the most popular shirts in the WWE right now. AJ Styles right now has overtaken everybody as the number one merchandise seller in the WWE, along with Elias. I think right now it's AJ, Elias, and Seth Rollins selling the most shirts right now in WWE. However, if you give Samoa Joe a good chance at winning the world title and the club an opportunity to dominate, we could see some good things with this draft. So I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know who's moving. This is just speculative right now. But I will come up with my own draft, and I will move guys who I think need to be moved or who I think should be moved. We'll come up with some nice video, and we'll go over that. But that's the major draft news right now. Do I agree with all those moves? Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I think Rollins moving over to SmackDown, having AJ on Raw freshens things up a bit. We could see Nakamura versus Rollins, Nakamura versus Joe. I'd even say get Balor over there. The one guy that just looks out of place is Randy Orton. Randy Orton is fucking boring. Randy Orton needs to go back to being a heel. I don't know what they're gonna do with Randy Orton. He just does not interest me whatsoever. We'll see what happens, man. Get Bray Wyatt away from Monday Night Raw. Put him over back on SmackDown Live. But we'll come up with something. We'll come up with a nice video. I'll give you guys my idea of where I want guys to move and where I think they could be best utilized on the WWE roster. Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio reportedly injured this weekend at a independent show. This, could throw a wrench into WWE's plans for Rey Mysterio. B, Rey Mysterio signing a WWE contract, and the rumor of Rey Mysterio versus John Cena seemingly dead this weekend with this news. There has been a ton of rumors flying around about Rey Mysterio joining the WWE over the past week, and this is very, very big news, and at the same time, bad news. to pass along. Rey was reportedly injured this past weekend. Dave Meltzer reports that Rey suffered an injury at the Northeast Wrestling Show this weekend. Meltzer says that it is believed that Rey has torn his left bicep. It's the same injury that has kept Drew McIntyre out ever since his last match with Andrade Cien Almas. That was Survivor Series weekend. But that is potentially damaging to him coming to the WWE, as the time frame for that is about 6 months. According to the report, those who saw Rey backstage after the match say that there was heavy swelling in his arm. Meltzer doesn't have any more details other than that Rey believes he tore his muscle. This comes at a terrible time for Rey Mysterio, as he was contemplating signing with the WWE. He wanted to be back in WWE. On top of that, the dream match that New Japan has already announced for their show in Long Beach, Rey versus Jushin Thunder Liger, seemingly canceled now because of Rey Mysterio tearing his left bicep, man. Unreal. But I will let you guys know if there is anything else regarding Rey Mysterio. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible situation for Rey Mysterio. I know we all wanted to see him come back into the WWE. We were all interested in seeing what WWE would do with Rey Mysterio. 205 Live Cruiserweight title. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't even know who he was fighting, or if it was even worth fighting. I don't know, man. This could be one of those things that was just a freak accident. It didn't need to happen. It didn't need to come at this time. Could have been avoided. I don't know, man. I don't know how it happened, against who it happened against. I don't know. I don't know. But Rey Mysterio being injured, man, terrible, terrible news right now for Rey and him coming to the WWE. We probably won't see him in the WWE in 2018, you know? Maybe towards the tail end of 2018, but I wish I didn't have to report that, man. I was actually excited to see him back in WWE as well, but if I hear anything else, I'll let you guys know, definitely on the Rey Mysterio front. WWE reportedly planning a 100,000 seat pay-per-view. This is not the first time I've reported this. Ryan Satin broke the news several months ago. There have been rumors floating around about the WWE potentially adding an international pay-per-view in 2018. The rumors suggest that Australia was the prime location. We have an update for you on the situation. According to the Melbourne Herald Sun, WWE running a show at the MCG in Melbourne, Australia is a done deal. The MCG seats over 100,000 people. The planned month is apparently in October, but there is no specific date listed. The official announcement of the show will reportedly happen at WrestleMania on April 8th. The original report lists Ronda Rousey, John Cena, The Undertaker, and Rey Mysterio as the potential headlining attractions. We don't know if Rey Mysterio is going to be there. He could very well be. I don't know. We don't know the severity of his injury yet, but I will definitely let you guys know. This is big. I know Australia really doesn't get many WWE shows. This could be a massive situation for WWE, and I'm excited as shit to see what they do with this 100,000 seat arena. It's got to be a good show, man. I hope this is one of the better shows of the year. I don't know what type of pay-per-view it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a network exclusive. I don't know if it's going to be, one of those things that we don't see on the network, but yet is later filmed, and we see it in little sprinkles here and there. I would just do the whole big pay-per-view. I would make it a big deal. That's larger than a WrestleMania audience. That is larger than a WrestleMania audience, man. And I love the international flavor that WWE does when they have these big pay-per-views. I love anything when it comes to the United Kingdom. The fans over there are fantastic. Being that Australia doesn't get many WWE fans and WWE shows over there, you can imagine that they're going to be fucking crazy. They are going to be crazy, man. So I'm looking forward to that. If I hear anything else as far as name, potential card, obviously I will let you guys know right here on the podcast. Moving on, man. John Cena and Roman Reigns were hijacked last night in Chicago. Just to go over this briefly, I don't want to talk about this clown anymore this weekend. In one of the key bouts at the United Center, Universal Champion Brock Lesnar took on Kane. That ended in 35 seconds. This did not sit well with the fans in attendance who expected more out of the WWE Universal Champion. The main event of the show, and I don't know why you would give the Chicago fans two guys that they fucking can't stand. The main event of the show, seeing Roman Reigns defeat John Cena with a spear. Soon after the match, Cena raised Reigns' hand as the victor, again putting him over. Let me fucking puke in my cup here, please. And per a report from Ringside News, pretty sure they fucking blame Chicago as being a terrible fucking crowd. Per a report from Ringside News, fans were booing ferociously throughout the match. Chicago decided to hijack Cena and Reigns by chanting things such as, "You both suck," "This is boring," "Rusev Day," and the ever-popular CM Punk. What did you expect? What did you expect to happen, WWE? Yet this is the kind of reaction that you're going to get at WrestleMania. But Roman's going to be over with the audience as the conquering superhero, right? Against the villainous Brock Lesnar. You are fucking delusional. Absolutely delusional. Moving on. That was to be expected in Chicago. What did you expect people to fucking be like, "Yeah, oh my God, I can't wait to see Roman Reigns and John Cena"? Fuck out of here, man. I can only hope All In is in Chicago. At least Chicago will be treated to an actual wrestling show. Roman Reigns and John Cena. The fuck out of here, man. I wouldn't pay fucking 3 cents to go see that shit. Speaking of WrestleMania, WWE and rumors of a WrestleMania 35 main event are already starting. Over the past few years, WWE has worked hard to promote the women's evolution. Starting with Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and others, they've made history along the way. As a matter of fact, the WWE has been loud and proud about making history, using the word history and first time ever every time they do something new. The WWE made history when Sasha Banks and Charlotte wrestled for the first time ever in a Hell in a Cell match, which was not necessary at all, and it didn't even live up to the Hell in a Cell stipulation. They just did it because first time ever. We gotta be different. We gotta do something that no one else is doing. Even though the match didn't really call for it, and it really wasn't all that good anyway. I mean, to the fucking imbeciles out there who live and breathe all positivity about WWE, they'll find fucking 9 things out of 10 that are positive, and they'll give you 1 fucking negative, maybe. If that. They also wrestled in the first ever women's Iron Man match. They main evented Monday Night Raw. The first time women wrestled in the main event since Trish Stratus and Lita. You guys know the deal. First time women's Royal Rumble took place this past January. The first time ever Elimination Chamber. Let me vomit in my cup again on top of whatever I already put in here with Roman Reigns. 2019. This is something I can actually get behind. 2019, we might actually have the women main event their first ever WrestleMania 35. There was a chance that the WWE could have made history once again at WrestleMania 33. The original rumors indicated that Ronda Rousey would team up with a mystery partner to battle Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and that could headline WrestleMania. And that was supposed to happen already, but WWE plans obviously fell through. Now, obviously, we're getting that match this year, but it won't be the main event. Ronda Rousey will not be in the main event. Females, Stephanie McMahon, will not be in the main event. Can you imagine Stephanie McMahon in the main event of WrestleMania? Oh, my God. I can't even imagine, man. So, that's happening this year. It was supposed to happen last year. It was supposed to happen at 32. They couldn't do it, right? Rock, not really available. But this year, it's happening, but it's not going to be the main event. Now, even when Triple H fought Sting, it was in the middle of a WrestleMania, and it seems that even Triple H knows better to have a full-time talent headline the show, which is why Roman Reigns is likely to get the call again this year. Again, let me vomit somewhere. My cup is overflowing at the moment. You know? If the WWE wants to make history with the women in the main event of a WrestleMania for the first time ever, they don't want it to be lip service with one of the owners of the company and a brand new star possibly wrestling in her first wrestling match. So, Stephanie, no. And Ronda Rousey, yet? No. The best person to put in that spot is Charlotte, who has wrestled in almost all the previous first-time ever matches for the women. Now, according to the Twitter account Slice Wrestling, because Slice knows, right? I don't really know how much he knows, but, he's been credible, I guess. I don't know whether he takes news from other outlets. I have no fucking idea. It's not my business. The WWE rumors are that a triple threat match at WrestleMania 35 could headline the show, involving the top women of the company. Charlotte, the most dominant female wrestler, working with Asuka and Ronda Rousey. Of course, WrestleMania 34 is still about 6 weeks away, and that makes WrestleMania 35 over a year away. So it seems kind of silly to be talking about this now. With that in mind, many things can change, but this would give the women a chance to reach their final landmark. And there might not be a better group of women than those three to headline the show. The WWE set all this up at the Royal Rumble this year when Rousey made her big WWE debut. She stood in the ring with Charlotte, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss and pointed at the WrestleMania sign like the fucking puppet that she is. While Alexa Bliss was there too, it was Asuka and Charlotte that made eye contact with Rousey, and it all could lead to the main event of WrestleMania 35. All I know, and I said this to Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter from Fightful.com, I said, if the WWE is even contemplating a female main event, like legit main event, meaning last match on the show, Asuka needs to be a part of that. And the only reason why I say that is because when Asuka wins the SmackDown Women's Championship from Charlotte at WrestleMania this year, she will have to go on, and she should, and WWE should be booking Asuka undefeated all through 2018 up until WrestleMania 35. Walking in undefeated at WrestleMania 35 with the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. I don't want a triple threat. I don't want a fatal four-way just to get more women involved in this first time ever, okay? I don't want anything to take away from what you've done with Asuka. If WWE can get Asuka to WrestleMania 35 undefeated, it needs nothing else. It needs no one else. It needs nothing else in that situation. Whether you want to put Ronda Rousey against Asuka in that situation, Ronda goes undefeated all year. You have the battle of the former UFC bantamweight champion who's come into WWE and dominated everybody from Charlotte to Becky to Natty to Charlotte. Now she's ready for Asuka. WrestleMania main event, Ronda Rousey, undefeated, who's defeated all of the four horsewomen, now has to stand toe-to-toe with Asuka, who is the most dominating female in WWE history. And that will cause people to have a difference of opinion as well. The opinion obviously is going to be, well, do we want to give Ronda Rousey, who's only been in the WWE for a year, Asuka's undefeated streak? Shouldn't it go to someone who's more of a homegrown talent instead of getting someone to come in who did, her thing in UFC and made her superstardom somewhere else outside of WWE? Do they want to give her that accolade? Why can't it be a Kairi Sane? Why can't it be an Ember Moon? Etc., etc. If it was up to me, it'd be an Ember Moon. It'd be a Kairi Sane. Something along those lines. But I'm a realist. I know. I'm a businessman. I know what's best for business. You're not going to have a WWE Women's Championship match with Asuka, no matter how great the undefeated streak is going to be. You're not going to have a main event at WrestleMania 35 with Asuka and her undefeated streak against Ember Moon. You're not going to do that. WWE is immediately and always going to go with the headline grabber. Ronda Rousey. This is the reason why they brought her in. Asuka's undefeated streak against Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey has main evented pay-per-view before. Not only has she main evented pay-per-view, no matter what you think of her in her latest UFC run, she is still a headline grabber. And WWE is going to utilize that with Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 35. It's going to be Asuka, undefeated, with the SmackDown Women's Championship against Ronda Rousey, undefeated at WrestleMania. That is the only way I see a WrestleMania main event happening for the women. I would love it to be Ember Moon or Kairi Sane or someone that WWE's built up, organically through the farm system or through the Performance Center. But I know that's not going to happen because they are not Ronda Rousey. They're not going to grab the headlines and the mainstream attention like Ronda Rousey is. So it's going to be Ronda and Asuka. I don't want a triple threat match. I don't want anything outside of a one-on-one match. A, it makes the title more important. B, it makes the overall situation important. And I don't want WWE to add women into that situation just for the sake of getting Charlotte in there and Sasha in there and Becky in there and Bayley in there and Alexa in there. No. Sorry. The streak versus the streak and the Women's Championship on the line. Simple as that. You don't need to overdo it. You don't need to embellish. One against one. That's what I think is going to happen for the WrestleMania 35 main event. Finally, guys, to end this week's Off the Script, if you enjoyed the video up until this point, if you're still with me, thumbs it up. WWE interested in several big-name indie talents. This should not come to a surprise to anybody. You know Triple H and the way he operates. WWE looking to purge. William Regal scouting many of the top indie names. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that Keith Lee and Walter have been offered contracts at the Performance Center starting in May. Now, both of these guys have impressed everybody who had the pleasure of watching them work. They're big guys who move incredibly well, and it's only a matter of time before NXT fans are treated to what these two guys can do in the ring. Walter is a huge Austrian who is known as Big Van Walter, and he certainly deserves to borrow from Vader's famous name by how he performs in the ring. He's worked for Progress, Evolve, and other promotions for over a decade while doing his thing in the European indie wrestling scene. Keith Lee, who I've heard a lot about, yet I have not seen anything from him, but I've heard so many good things about him, is also incredibly impressive and has worked for over a decade, as well as perfecting his craft. He can pull off incredible moves for a guy his size and could fit in very well with the WWE Universe. So there could be some exciting additions to WWE's payroll very soon if Keith Lee and Big Van Walter accept deals, which are reportedly right now on the table. It is reported that the belief is Keith Lee will take WWE's deal because he's turned down indie wrestling dates after May. Walter might be a different story because he apparently has employee status with WXW in Europe and runs their wrestling school. He has also said in the past that he's not interested. But as with many instances of WWE talking to indie names, neither side is allowed to comment at this point. In addition to Walter and Keith Lee, Squared Circle's Sirens Casey Michael reports Luke Menzies, Joe Coffey, and Daniel Vidat have also been offered deals by WWE. I don't know any of those names, so if you guys know who they are, please enlighten me down in the comments section. Menzies and Vidat are both pro rugby players, whereas Joe Coffey, who I've heard of, is known all over the globe as the Iron Man and has wrestled for top independent promotions as well. I think he worked for What Culture or Defiant. I'm not really sure, but again, let me know in the comments section. Sound off, enlighten me down below. But I'm always excited to see new indie names, man. I haven't seen anything on Keith Lee, but I've heard so much good things about him. So anything about new talent coming into the Performance Center and working with NXT and getting them showcased on NXT, you know I'm all for, man. So that's what the May class could look like, man. Keith Lee, Big Van Walter, Luke Menzies, Joe Coffey, and Daniel Vidat have offers on the table from WWE. Whether or not they take them or not, I will let you guys know somewhere down the line. So NXT and the Performance Center could get replenished yet again for the upcoming spring and summer months. And by the way, there are reports, and we'll talk about this on Wednesday when we cover NXT. I was right. Velveteen Dream is rumored to have a takeover match in New Orleans against Ricochet. So I just want to let you guys know that I predicted that. I called that on Wednesday, just with this whole storyline and the Velveteen Dream playing up the fact that he doesn't like indie talents coming into the Performance Center and stealing his spotlight. Ricochet is king of the indies. And I think that would be a perfect match for Ricochet and Dream at TakeOver New Orleans. But that is all I got, guys. That is literally everything. I'm bone dry on news. I gave you everything I got today. Thank you so much. Thumbs it up if you enjoyed the video. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for notifications. Harrys.com/script. audibletrial.com/offthescript. My two big sponsors for the show. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript for your t-shirts. Patreon.com/JDFROMNY206 if you guys want to support the podcast monthly and continue to send in your intro submissions for the new theme song, man. Something like Brian Zane has on Wrestling with Regret. I've got a bunch of them so far. Continue sending in your work. We're going to have fun with it. I'm going to let you guys vote on which intro you guys want to see for Off the Script, man. So like I said, we'll have fun with it, and we should be concluding that in the next month or so. I'm JD. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, please hit that thumbs up, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. Or if there's any late-breaking news, keep an eye out on the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed. I will talk to you later. Monday Night Raw tomorrow. What garbage will come flying out of Roman Reigns' mouth tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw? I'll be here to cover it, and I'll see you guys then. Have a great weekend.